Let's take a look at this very suspicious device that is intended to plug between your charger and your phone, and it then restores full battery capacity over time to your phone. Because you know the phone capacity gradually decreases, and one of the most suspicious things about this packaging is it shows a picture of a rubber duck, and coincidentally, there is an interesting attack vector on computers and phones called the rubber ducky, where you plug a device into the USB socket of, say, a computer, and while you're not there, it decides to present itself as a keyboard and then type in commands without you actually being present at the computer and do nefarious things. This one doesn't appear to be doing that. However, it's interesting to note the instructions on the back. Well, let me show you it working first, and then I'll describe the instructions. So if I plug this in, I'll probably have to turn the light off so you can see this. Its screen has lit green. Let me give you a close-up of this. There we go, it lights green, and I think this is designed to emulate a little LCD display. Certainly in the adverts for it, it looks as though it's displaying data. And the Chinese text here translates to something like, under repair. Okay, watch your eyes, the light is coming back. The light is back. So in case you've not worked this out yet, this is a scam device. You can get battery rejuvenators for lead acid batteries, and they work by delivering high current spikes, basically shunting the battery with sharp spikes, and that's supposed to break the buildup of sulfation off the plates. But you can't do the same with a lithium battery, particularly not when it's in a phone, because if this thing fired out spikes in any way, it would potentially damage the phone, and besides, the phone has its own charging circuitry that the spikes would not get past anyway. So let's open this up. And it's worth mentioning that the instructions for this say you're not going to see immediate effects. This is a common thing with quack products. You're not going to see immediate effects. You've got to use it consistently for a couple of months to see the best results. And by that time, you've lost the receipt, the buyer's remorse has worn off, and you might just keep using it with its little LED and resistor. I'll take a picture of this so you can have a close-up. One moment, please. Now, control your excitement. Reverse engineering is complete. Let's explore this amazing circuitry. It has the USB plug at one side, USB socket at the other. The data connections go all straight through. The positive goes through via the resistor. You've got a couple of pads here for taking power off. I wonder if this case has other applications. But it's interesting to note that to avoid having to jump with a track from one side to the other, they've actually taken the negative on each case and taken it over onto the they've taken the negative from the USB connector onto the case, run it across the case, and then used it as a link to get to the other side. And there is, of course, the LED. So is this thing sold as a donor case for building your own stuff in, or is it just pure quackery? Not sure. Anyway, let me show you the schematic, just for completeness. It's not going to take long to explain. There we go. Data connections going through, 5 volts going through, 1.2k resistor, very respectable, only 2 milliamps through this bright green LED, and then the 0 volt rail. That's it. Nothing too hard. One of the simplest bits of circuitry I've seen in a while, but let's talk about what it says in the box now, because that is important. I'll just get into a better position for this. So I have run a translation on this box, and aside from saying, it's going to take roughly 2 or 3 hours use every day, but you have to use it every day to fulfill the sort of warranty. And it's also going to take you about 8 weeks, 2 months to actually see the results. So basically speaking, they're just fobbing off till it's out of warranty. But then interestingly, it goes on, as many of these devices do, and says, as part of the procedure for this, you should download all the important files that you want to keep from your phone and then factory reset it. The factory resetting gets rid of all the bloat. It clears the memory. You should do it every so often, although it is a chore to do because it's like setting up the phone from scratch is annoying. But it clears out all the bloat, all the background applications, particularly corrupted ones that came from shady sources or just weren't written properly, and that will potentially give you greater battery life. So it's got that going for it. Even says it for the iPhone as well. It gives you the procedure for doing it on your iPhone, just basically factory restore. And that is something that it's worth doing every so often. But I like the fact this has the green LED right under this panel so they could make this light up like a display. It would have been nicer if the case had been black though, because then that would have been a more vivid display. Certainly in the adverts it looks like an LCD display, it's some intelligent thing. And inevitably, people will try and justify it saying, oh, you're wrong, by the way. See that little thing there that lights up green? It's got special resonance, and the resonance mystically repairs your battery. People do that. People actually say crap like that if they have absolutely zero technical knowledge. But it's a nice enough case. I'm just looking, I'm seeing one of the little pins is broken off. I don't think I broke that off. No, it's been pre-broken off. But it's a nice case. It goes together well. It would potentially be a nice enclosure for your own circuitry. You could even use this as the little power takeoff board for it. Notice it is the synthetic resin bonded paper in the back of this. But there we have it. That's your battery rejuvenator. If you follow instructions, you will definitely get results. But other than that, it is potentially just a scam, but an interesting device, and the case has other uses.